And in other news, O.J. Simpson says he avoids Los Angeles because he feels he might be sitting next to whoever did it.
Wow. What?
I guess if you have any leads or any information, please contact the Los Angeles Police Department. We're all still wondering what that
I know who did it.
You know what the funny thing is? Like every time I see OJ or whatever, I'm just sitting like, did the police just stop looking for whoever did it? Like, is it case closed and it's just done? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, whatever. Let's get into some fun here. Let's get some professional wrestling. Welcome to the Essential Wrestling Podcast, powered as always by the Eastern Observer. You can taste the power. My name is Karl. I am the ringleader of the circus of information. Thank you for joining us this Tuesday, wonderful afternoon. Comments are already rolling in. Minutes to bell time. Yep. He'll always be in the presence.
Can't avoid it. He wears his underwear.
This is always on the bottom part of our screen, the first ever PWP champion, the living legend, John DeConnie. John, how are things on this wonderful Tuesday afternoon?
It is a wonderful Tuesday indeed because we're here. We're all together. We're talking wrestling. Doesn't get
better. We are all. We got the band back together today because.
And number 4, John Smith.
John Smith, off the lazy river. How was your vacation, pal?
Vacation was real good. It wasn't very relaxing, but that's only because we were like constantly moving around. It wasn't bad, but I definitely needed some sleep when I got back.
They always say, always plan like a day to get back to work. You need a vacation from your vacation. Ryan Joy seems to be the king of vacations lately. I don't know what the minute to bell time, how many weeks you guys get a year for vacation time, but you're with us today, Ryan Joy. Thank you from minutestobelltime.com. Thank you for joining us as always.
First of all, we have an unlimited policy, and there's no oversight on that either. So,
gotcha.
And it's all paid, right?
It's 100%. Yep. I get my normal wage.
James Wheeler chiming in. James, I have no idea what that means. I apologize. Does anyone else?
What is it?
Abado? Brabado?
I don't know. Maybe James is trying to come up with a new catchphrase here. Big show ahead of us today. On today's episode, John Cena stopped by Raw last night to celebrate his WWE birthday. That was fun.
Oh, that's John Cena's music. Piped out. I thought it sort of said Avenue, like Avenue.
Way to sound it out, John Smith. You just like,
right?
It was like, I wish you did that like phonetically. When you were, the thought process was out loud. Where you,
yeah, John Cena stopped by Raw last night to celebrate his WWE birthday. Gunther got his first title defense of his new belt on SmackDown. Santos Escobar broke the family code on NXT. Gary Mehaffy is with us to discuss NXT UK and what in the actual hell is going on here with the NXT UK Tag Team Championships. That threw me for a complete loop last week. That was nuts. Ryan Joy's with us. I don't think we have an indie segment planned, right? Everything's good to go. The G1 hasn't started yet. Ring of Honor's got a new pay-per-view. We'll discuss that as it happened. Death Before Dishonor on July 23rd. So Ring of Honor's will be back up and running. We answered that question. So, Ryan, I think we'll give you the day off on the indie segment. I think we're good right now.
Sounds good.
We make our picks for this week's upcoming shows presented by minutestobelltime.com. And as always, sponsored by ProWrestlingPick'em.com. Play against your friends. Play against the universe. And guys, where is it?
She'll like it.
Higher up there. She'll like it too. We're gonna main event today's show. Oh, I gotta go back to that. I'm gonna miss that all show today. We're gonna main event the show with making our picks for Impact's Against All Odds and WWE's Money in the Bank. here are the Raw roll-up standings going into last week's action. Raw with a healthy lead right now, 31 roll-ups since the start of January. AEW in second place with 25. Impact hot on the heels of AEW. We're at the halfway point after this week. We're going to get into the mid-season standings at the end of the episode. But we're going to curtain jerk the show with AEW versus New Japan Pro Wrestling, the Forbidden Door. We'll get into Moxley because he's going to be in blood and guts. He won the interim championship. We'll get into him a little when we make the pitch for that. But the IWGP Heavyweight Championship Fatal 4-Way match, a little bit of controversy as apparently. That's not what I want to do. That's what I want to do. Adam Cole, I guess, was knocked silly at some point during the match. I know, Ryan, we didn't have you down to talk about this, but I guess they're saying something happened, concussion beginning of the match, and actually AEW, I think we came to the conclusion here, actually somewhat did a safe thing, more safer than what they normally do, than forcing Adam Cole to stay down when it didn't really make sense because he ducked the Rainmaker and then he got pinned.
True.
All right, cool. All right, so
so Jay White's still your IWGP champion.
Jay White retained the title. He feels they pinned Adam Cole. He took out Okada after Okada, tried the Rainmaker on Adam Cole. Okada got taken out with a switchblade, the Blade Runner. Hangman Page, nowhere to be found. Him.
The post-show media scrum, Jay White was fantastic in that. He starts cussing at the media is asking a question, and one question from the media. Jay White interrupts the questioner like 3 times to just talk to Tony Khan sitting next to him. So go out of your way to watch that.
Yeah, Tony Khan, I guess, as well. We've all seen the awkward hugs, I guess, he was giving everybody, including this man, Claudio Constantinople. How do we say this?
You grew up in Jersey and you can't pronounce that?
Yeah, right. Yeah. I'm Irish. Come on. I'm a Millen. Come on. Claudio Cesaro, FKA Cesaro. He defeated Zack Sabre Jr. We all kind of got that one wrong. With the thinking that if Zack Sabre Jr. couldn't beat this mystery opponent, how the hell is he supposed to beat Bryan Danielson? So, guess that match kind of got ruined for us going forward. But the size differential, Zack Sabre Jr. wrestled the hell of a match. The size differential kind of did him in. Cesaro just towered over him. That was impressive. Ryan Joy, I'm going to throw a picture up right now. I know it brought a tear to Travis's eye. Number 7, and that is a title.
7 stars. Yeah, and now FTR has to get new gear because on the back of their gear they had 6 stars to signify the 6 different championships they've won. But now they have the IWJP.
Yeah, that was a typo.
This is not an official Minutes to Bell Time graphic. You know that.
No, that's not. No, I stole that from somebody on Facebook, and I saw that when I put on. Like, whatever. It's...
So they are the IWGP Tag Team Champions, which is interesting considering New Japan and AAA don't get along at all. But now they are sharing champions. But yes, FTR got the win here using the big rig on Rocky Romero. But story of the match was that Dax got hurt earlier with a shoulder injury, so he left ringside. Cash had to fend for himself, which actually I think made it for a better match because you had more of a 2-on-2 for the bulk middle part of the match. So you had kind of a traditional tag match with Cash jumping in every once in a while. But came down to the end. Dax did come back. He ran wild. You wouldn't have known that his arm was hurt. And then they scored the big rig. They're new tag team champions, and they got to get new gear with 7 stars on them.
John Smith, real quick random question for you. So the Fatal 4-Way for the All Atlantic title, we'll get to that in a second. That was all 4 guys in the ring at the same time. We have a Fatal 4-Way tag team match. Only 2 guys are allowed in the ring at the same time. Do you agree, disagree? What do you like here? I know you like tornado rules, but
I think that every team should be represented in the match at all times.
I agree with that too.
And if it was the way it was, then the outlaw rule should be in effect, and they should be able to pin themselves to win the titles.
And it's been a very long time since the outlaw rule has been violated. I think it's time somebody brings it up. I I think that'd be fun. The outlaw rule. It was one of the. It was a Survivor shit. I forgot they pinned themselves to retain the tag team championships back in the Attitude Era. Awesome. Ryan, we had a United States Championship match, and the title was up in the rafters with Juice Robinson.
Yeah. Juice says that this was a number one contenders match because he refuses to. Yeah.
Travis doesn't like the outlaw rule. No, he likes the outlaw rule. There, that's it. He likes it. He's a fan of the outlaw rule.
Juice Robinson's up in the rafters. He's got the United States Championship. Says that Orange Cassidy and Will Ospreay are really just fighting over the number one contendership. A lot of people going into this match were disappointed that Will Ospreay drew the Orange Cassidy card for the dance, but they delivered. This was a hell of a match, and you had some really good false finishes at the end. I think, I had picked Ospreay to win here, but there were moments in the match where I was like, oh my gosh, Orange is going to get it done, and deservedly so. I mean, we saw an Orange Punch, we saw a Beach Break, we saw Os Cutter, we saw Hidden Blade. All those moves were kicked out of. Eventually, it came down to the Stormbreaker, and Orange Cassidy could not kick out of that. Ospreay got the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, Ospreay shined that day, and he was doing moves I've never seen done on American soil, I guess, if you put it that way. He was pulling out some stuff I've never seen before. Yes, a lot of people were upset about the pairing, but they played the card that Orange Cassidy would just annoy the crap out of him with all that's what Orange Cassidy does, and Ospreay sold it. So I think
there was the one spot that I loved where finally somebody reaches into Orange Cassidy's pockets to see what's in there, and it was Will Ospreay's middle finger.
Yeah. John DeConnie, we had a new championship born this past Sunday, the AEW All-Atlantic Championship.
Indeed, which took place between Malachi Black, Pac, Miro, and the late replacement, Mr. Clark Connors of the NJPW. I believe he's a dojo guy, right? He's a young lion.
He's not a young lion anymore. He's recently graduated from the LA dojo. So that's why he doesn't have to wear the black tights and shaved head. He gets a little bit of extra flair in his gear because he has graduated, but not too far removed.
Yes. Well, he graduated out, as they say, out of the frying pan and into the fire, because early on in this match, Black and Pac wound up on the floor, leaving Connors alone to deal with Miro, who's still angry at his god, something about sand in his neck. I don't remember. But Connors took a beating early on in this match. Miro wound up on the outside. And the theme of this match seemed to be Miro just catching everyone, because he first went to the floor. Connors hits a plancha. Miro catches him. Later on in the match, he's on the floor. Pac hits a plancha. Miro catches him. It seemed like the only person who took Miro out, twice, I guess, in the match. Malachi Black hit a beautiful springboard moonsault that took Miro out. And then after Malachi Black tried to put Miro through the table he had set up outside, Connors speared Miro right through the table in a beautiful spot. It was mayhem. 4 guys at all times. It was all over the place, in, out, and around the ring. We get to the end, and Miro has Pac in game over, but Pac refuses to tap. Malachi Black comes in and mists Miro and then takes him out with the Black Mass, then attempts a flying armbar on Connors. Pac breaks up the flying armbar with a 450 and puts poor Clark Connors in the brutalizer, and that was where it would end. Tappy tap tap, your inaugural All-Atlantic champion, the bastard Pac.
Yeah, 2 things about this. One, when I first saw Clark Connors' name, I thought it was Clark Kellogg from CBS in the NCAA basketball tournament. I was way off on that one. 2, shout out for minutes to bell time on Travis. John Smith got it right, too. So they got Pac correct. Everybody else, I believe, was on Malachi Black. I think Gary might have picked Miro, now that I'm thinking about it. But, yeah, just the stare downs between Miro and Malachi Black. It's coming, and it's going to be incredible.
It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, that's dude doesn't need a belt.
Tony Storm, John Smith, the liquid hips of Tony Storm just couldn't get it done.
Hey, you stole my line.
That's
I mean, your favorite Tony Schiavone's line, that is. Twice in this match, we learned that Tony Storm has liquid hips, and once we were told that she has powerful hips or strong hips. So they're liquid power. They're like 10W30, you know. So, these are probably the two best women's wrestlers in the company, and they showed it, like pure wrestlers. I mean, not on the mic, obviously, but they really showed it. And Tony with her liquid hip attacks and kicking out of each other's finishers, and no botches, which was weird for a women's match in AEW. So Rosa finally hit. I forget what it's called. What a Dustin
Final Reckoning.
Reckoning, right?
Final
Day of Reckoning.
Final Reckoning.
Final Reckoning. Okay, who's the Reckoning?
Damian Priest.
It was
Damian
Priest.
Okay. Yeah, she hit that on Tony for the win, and then they had a nice little handshake afterwards. And Tony Storm, I think she needs to put like 10 pounds back on.
And it was Mercedes Martinez too. Was Reckoning.
That's true.
Tony can go back to being tank ass Tony.
Yeah, that's right. Tank ass Tony. She doesn't have that anymore.
It's my favorite iteration.
Yes. Sting, whatever. Shingo Takagi got the pin though. We walked outside. Johnson. See, the things we try to with AEW Impact's pretty bad with this team. WWE, because they always have the story to lead up to the match. So it gives John Smith and myself a nice time to go outside, have a quick smoke, to come back and catch the match. AEW doesn't do that. It's rapid fire, and that's fun. It's good. It's probably better for the people that are watching the event live. But John Smith went out early, and I came in. And I saw the whole thing was Sting in the beginning, and I just walked outside, just pissed. I'm like, dude, I'm so happy that you missed that. I'm actually going to do a first time ever. I am going to give Sting a shout out. Shout out to Sting breaking out the old titty twisters on El Phantasmo. Good job by Sting. It's an oldie but a goodie. No little bully tactic from Sting. Shingo Takagi with the pin. Nice work. Like that. Bunch of buy-in matches. They announced 3. They actually had 4. John Takani, Goto, and Yoshihashi. How'd they get the win again? How'd that finish?
Yoshihashi and Goto used Shoto on Solo with a cover by Goto.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Lance Archer defeated Nick Comoroto. Rough night for the Factory on the buy-in. Swerve and Our Glory defeated El Desperado and Kanemaru. Post-match trash talk by Starks and Hobbs on Swerve and Keith Lee. So look for that to continue. The Gun Club and Max Caster getting the win, huh? I mean, it took a bunch of trainees to do it, but yeah, they got the win. Yeah, Scissor Me John O'Connor. There you go. Scissor Me Big John. They defeated Dojo. And then the Jericho match, the opening card, that will lead into Blood and Guts because that determined the outcome. So here are the AEW standings. At the Forbidden Door, Ryan Joy and myself 10-2 with 81 points. I'll take that. Zack Sabre Jr. we all got wrong, and then the All-Atlantic Tournament final we got wrong. Gary throw up 9-3 for 68. John Smith at 93 for 66. I'm sorry, Gary, 78. John Takani 7-5. Travis 8-4. Not a bad show. We did okay on that one. I think we did okay. Real quick rewind of the other stuff that happened in the week of AEW. Ryan made a barn burner on Rampage with Rey Fenix and Andrade.
Really good match between the two of them. I'd love to see that match actually play out over the course of a few weeks and get to a pay-per-view because they just killed it. But, that being my wish, the one thing that could potentially make that wish better is have a Lucha Bros versus Los Ingobernables Defección, I think they're called. So Rush interfered in this, and that led to the finish of Andrade getting the win. But killer match on Rampage. But yes, I want to see Rush and Andrade versus Penta and Phoenix for sure. I can wait till a pay-per-view to give him a big stage. No commercials. No, none of that picture-in-picture bullcrap. I want a full 20 minutes of this.
He's got a picture-in-picture match that starts during the commercial break, and you can piss off two birds with one stone right there. I believe Hook also got a win on Rampage, so good for him. He continues his winning ways. On AEW Dynamite, Christian Cage did an in-ring interview rocking a sweet black turtleneck. Says this all stemmed, his turn on Jungle Boy, all stemmed back to the Casino Battle Royal last year when Jungle Boy eliminated him, and then the crowd cheered it. So this is AEW, we love it. Long-term storytelling. Woo, how about that? Christian Cage bottled that up for a year. Then Christian went on to shoot the greatest heel promo in AEW history, if not professional wrestling history, bringing up Jungle Boy's late father, Luke Perry, as well. So good. Luchasaurus eventually came out to attack Christian, but Christian has something on him. They needed to talk. Remember what happened to Marco. So they're bringing Marco Stunt back into this. Rumors already going rampant. I don't want to be the guy to spread rumors here. Rumors going around that Luchasaurus actually ate Marco Stunt, and Christian actually knows this, will now be holding that over his head. So Marco, even though no longer with the company.
So you're saying Christian covered it up like and helped him out the same way Vince helped out Jimmy Snuka.
And Jags is back. How about it? Jags? It's been a while, Jags. I hope to see it. August 20th, Jags Cornhole Tournament. You better be there. Hopefully you see it. Jags, the ragging on John the Connie show.
If he's ever seen me dance, that's news to me.
Yeah.
I'm famous for having about the same dance moves as John Candy at the end of The Great Outdoors.
The clock is ticking on Samoa Joe to defend the Ring of Honor television championship. Jay Lethal is getting impatient. Look for that to happen, possibly at Death Before Dishonor. Stokely Hathaway is accepting applications to be a baddie as a result of Red Velvet getting injured. I know Gary Mehaffy applied, but the picture that he applied with was not PG, as Stokely Hathaway asked for. Our sisters in Christ, make sure it's PG. I thought that was funny as hell. So Gary was denied, and this is where I was supposed to put a picture of shirtless Gary on the screen, and I forgot to do it. So Gary, I apologize.
Just put up the one of pantsless Gary then.
You want pantsless Gary instead of shirtless Gary?
Don't apologize to Gary. Apologize to the female viewers.
Yes, I know. But we try. Our brothers in Christ, we got to keep it clean. We got to keep it PJ. I know we don't usually mention matches that lead up. Tony Storm defeated Marina Shafir. I did want to bring it up because it was a Raw roll-up. Check one for AEW. But Tony Storm then proceeded to laugh and point at Marina Shafir after she rolled her up. It's almost like Tony Storm watches the show and she wants to be in the thick of the Raw roll-up race. So look for Tony Storm to shine going forward. Which brings us to Wednesday night, this upcoming Wednesday. As Dusty Rhodes said back in the TNN days, Wednesday, Bloody Wednesday. We have blood and guts leading into this. All the things that happened last Wednesday on Dynamite. Bryan Danielson. I did it again. Daniel Bryanson. No, I typed it wrong. Bryan Danielson in-ring promo. Bad news is that he wasn't cleared to compete at Forbidden Doors. We found out. Or blood and guts. Good news is he found the one person who was up to the high standard that Bryan Danielson has to replace him at both events. I thought he was talking about Willie Mack. I was way off. Turned out to be Claudio Costanza.
White Chocolate Thunder.
Yeah, it should have been Willie Mack. As I said, Jon Moxley, he defeated Hiromu Tanahashi with the paradigm shift to become the AEW interim World Heavyweight Champion. But as a result of Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, and Minoru Suzuki, they got the win over Eddie Kingston, Wheeler Yuta, and Shota Inomi, who shined in that match. Red Shoes' kid, son of Red Shoes, El Hijo de Red Shoes. After the Jericho effect on Umino, the Jericho Appreciation Society will have the man advantage during this match. For those of you who do not speak AEW and only speak WCW, for those of you who are old school, or NXT. This is War Games. Regal just didn't have the twist on it for Blood and Guts. But it's Wednesday, Bloody Wednesday, Ryan Joy, as your senior AEW correspondent. Who do you have in Blood and Guts?
My God. John Moxley is going to be so ticked off because the Wizard, Chris Jericho, tossed a fireball in Shota Umino's face during Forbidden Door too. So John Moxley's going to be ticked off. Eddie Kingston's already ticked off.
He was pissed.
The bad guys have the advantage. Plus, there seems to be a little dissension that dates back a while between Eddie Kingston and Claudio. I don't feel good about Moxley and crew getting the W here. I'm going to go with the Jericho Appreciation Society. I see he says win for the second time. Jericho's team, the Inner Circle, did lose at Blood and Guts against the Pinnacle last time. Sammy quit for the team. So,
well, I think he's talking about what happened at Double or Nothing when Jericho beat.
Okay, then yes. Yeah, that makes sense. Yes. So, yes, I'm going to say Jericho Appreciation Society gets the win. I assume it's going to be Wheeler Yuta or Ortiz or somebody who has to give it up. But I think that we're really looking towards another Moxley and Jericho interim title match coming up at some point.
Grand Slam, maybe? That's the next big event they have. Even though it's not a pay-per-view, it's a Wednesday night show, but Grand Slam, they make a big deal out of it. John Connie.
Grand Slam's going to be after All Out, actually. Grand Slam's late September.
Oh, got you. Yes, Gary, Claudio is all elite.
Yeah, I'm going to say the Jericho Appreciation Society is on a hell of a run right now. You know, everything seems to be breaking their way. So, you know, the old wrestling math says that this is where they should get their comeuppance. So I'm going to go with the Blackpool Combat Club in LAX.
Exactly what I was about to say, John Smith. It's tough to beat a team 3 times in the same season.
I hate you. Now, on the graphic, it was 5. It's 5 on 6.
6 on 6.
No, I don't have a Daniel Garcia one.
Okay, that makes it.
So he's the one that's missing.
No, I think the Faces win this one because Jericho's team won at the pay-per-view. So I think the Faces win this one.
Yeah, honestly, I think it's John Moxley. You're not going to have your new champion lose in his first match, whether it's title or not. I just don't see Moxley's or any of his team losing this. I said it during last week. They were making our picks for Forbidden Door. Jericho's due for a loss. He doesn't go on these streaks. And then, Ryan, I'll piggyback off of what you said last week. Wheeler Yuta, do it. Now you have Wheeler Yuta win Blood and Guts for his team. Get a big win, get him rolling in the direction that people want him to go. So I am going to go with the Blackpool Combat Club, which I guess is only the 2 guys, right? I mean, it's not the whole team. You know, Santana and Ortiz aren't, and obviously Kingston
there's 3. Claudio, I guess.
Claudio's in the club now.
Well, yeah, you know, Bryan Danielson is not.
So Wheeler Yuta, Claudio, and
John that's Moxley. Right, Wheeler Yuta. Gotcha. All right, so we will bid you gentlemen adieu for the time being. Thank you very much for everybody watching the segment and Forbidden Door. Make sure you say hello to your loved ones real quick. Maybe get some groceries as we bring in the man, the myth, the legend himself. As I didn't get that graphic off there, Gary Mehaffy. Oh, John Connie, he was on too long. Gary, top of the evening to you, my laddie. How are things going today? I apologize. I'm sorry that you got rejected to join. To be a baddie with Stokely.
It's okay. Much like Justin Timberlake, I'm bringing sexy back, and it's okay. So we're here, and I will be better in precisely 37 hours and 31 minutes. I will be better. So.
All right. What was that? That's the next NXT.
By that point, it'll be noon on Thursday, and I finish school, and I'll be off for 7 weeks.
Nice. There you go, Gary.
So yeah.
Why is that not? Oh, that's edit. The wrong button. I got a comment coming in real quick. Just going to say this once and for all. Oh, yeah, there you go. That's exactly it. And we're going to get right into it. And Gary, I was late watching the show. I don't know what I was doing Thursday afternoon. And I was just scrolling through Facebook. And I see new tag team champions. And what in the absolute hell had to have happened for Briggs and Jensen to win these things?
And the thing is, it's like I know even from the next night there are, and I will put this out there are spoilers out there for what happens in NXT UK, and I never checked them, so I didn't know what had happened. And then when I saw the interview at the start, with poor Ashton Smith, who's done his cruciate. Seemingly in the match when they won the titles, he did it.
Yeah.
And so when they relinquished, and I thought, okay. And all of a sudden, when they made the 4-way, and I went, no, surely it's not going to go the way it went. And it did. So when we ended up, Briggs and Jensen focused on quite a lot and did well, a lot of hot tags. And when it came down to them and De Familia at the end, I thought the way the match went, it was like they're going to put the titles on Briggs and Jensen. I can see that. And apparently they're bringing them the NXT 2.0 tonight, apparently. So
yeah, I guess they have to overnight those, right? Because they tape NXT UK probably way ahead of time. They had to overnight those things and make sure they got to Orlando. But yeah, Ashton Smith needs time to take off. Yeah, tag team titles. There was a fatal 4-way. Fun to see Wild Boar and Mark Andrews back together. That was fun. Jack Stars and the Bomber. They've been in the title conversation, I would say, as long as Smith and Carter, but I'm just, damn it, man. I was just I got upset not knowing it was an injury at first. I'm like, as long as they took for them to get those titles and they're going to rip them off them in a week. And then I found that it was an injury. I guess it makes it a little bit better, but then I guess they felt De Familia dirty, but
I did think it does. It really spices things up because when I saw that he was injured, I thought, okay, it's the same old. We're just going to have the same 3-4 tag teams doing it, and by putting Briggs and Jensen in and giving them the titles, it actually does change things up a little bit. It makes things more interesting, so you'll get matches you never had before. So.
Yeah, James, we were chiming in. First ever American-born champions. Looks like it's time to invest in Worlds Collide 2. Now that Triple H is reportedly back in doing NXT and NXT UK while everything's going on for them. Like I said, if they're doing something on that Cardiff weekend, that would be a good time for De Familia to win the titles on a big show. That's why I'm kind of coming to terms with this. No one said boo about a takeover there to me. I'm just kind of just playing fantasy land right now in my head, but I'm just hoping that an announcement's coming soon that they're doing something along, for that weekend while the WWE's over there in full force. Noam Dar was in Sid Scala's office. Has run through everybody in the Heritage Cup division. He has no one left to face. He's going to retire with the cup, put it on his mantle, just call it a day.
Please don't go. Please don't.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, but he's going to give us one more match just so he can hear the crowd say, please don't go. Please don't go. No reports on who that's going to be yet, but Noam Dar's going to.
It wouldn't surprise me.
25? What is it, 25?
It wouldn't surprise me to see him be the next one that goes across, because I know he was across before and they did like him, and then he got injured and he came back to us. It wouldn't surprise me to see him go across to 2.0 at some point. But
Alicia Four. West, he's coming. Gary, 2 weeks in a row, Myla Grace on my TV screen. I gave her a shot on this one. I thought she was going to pull it out against Isla Dawn.
It's common. There was an interesting thing on commentary. I think it was Nigel said it when they were comparing her to Amal and saying how she came on at first and was putting the work in and just couldn't get a win and got a big win. And I thought, well, they're going to do the same storyline with Myla. They'll give her 3, 4, 5 matches and she'll lose, and all of a sudden she'll beat like Nina Samuels, or she'll beat kind of somebody like that. She'll get her win, and then that'll kickstart her. So I was glad to see her getting more time.
Yeah, it just says that she had the backstage segment with Lash, and now she's like I said, 2 weeks in a row. So there's some hope there. Staying in the women's division, Sarray defeated Nina Samuels after a belly back suplex, kind of a nice move.
Yeah,
I don't understand what it was. The portal went over with Sarray, which was fun too. I'm glad they did all that.
They must have saved them transport them for Briggs and Jensen and Fallon.
Yeah, exactly. Just throw the tag titles through the portal. Yeah, just go right to Orlando. After the match, though, backstage, Zaya Brookside and Eliza Alexandra. Is Alexandra? Yeah, that's right. What's her last name again?
Eliza Alexandra. Yeah,
that's what I thought. Okay, made it abundantly clear to Sarray will not take the other women's opportunities in the UK, and that is Zaya and Eliza's division. Miko Satomura playing the role of Mother Hen. She had Sarray's back. I smiled at this guy because now Zaya and Miko are on the same screen, and now they're in the same.
It's all coming, but I do think that it's going to lead at some point in the not too distant future to Millie McKenzie turning, because you had obviously we had Mako referencing that as well, like talking to her about you need fighting spirit stuff for next week, like Sarai. So
then let's just get right into it. That's exactly what happened. It was Miko Satomura instructed Amelia McKenzie to take on Fallon Henley next week in hopes that Amelia has the fighting spirit. So there we go. A little face versus face action here. Like I said, the losses keep piling up, so I'm going to take Fallon Henley. The losses keep piling up. This might do something where we could have Amelia and Miko.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I think. I think it's going to come up. We should just get frustrated, and then all of a sudden we'll crack. So,
Tyler Bate will be taking a leave of absence following what happened the week prior with the attack by Trent Seven. Trent Seven, he's going to address the UK universe again. Any stabs in the dark here? I mean, I don't know what more he could possibly say right now. But
I'm trying to think who he sort of come out and obviously and talk. I would imagine talk about him being the founding father and everybody holding him back, and nobody gives him the respect. So whether somebody like Mark Andrews is the first sort of one who steps up, that type of somebody who's been there from the start as well, to kind of go, I've been here too, shut your mouth and have a match. But
yeah, Mark, that'd be a good one. Yeah. There was another video package for Blair Davenport, putting the UK women's division roster on notice. She returns next week. She will be in action, so it'd be good to see Blair Davenport back on TV. And then, assuming, I don't think it was booked officially, but Shaw Samuels was not happy with how Wolfie used the scarf in their tag team match the week prior. That caused Samuels to get the loss. Shaw went to Sid Scala. He asked for the one-on-one. This sounds like a main event to me. I'm assuming this is going to happen on Thursday, Gar.
Yeah, I assume so. As you say, there's been nothing officially announced, but I would say that it would be. And that's what it's actually one of those. It is a pick 'em. It could go either way. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Shaw this time.
Yeah, well, the odds are always in Shaw's favor. I mean, we didn't see the East End bookie. I didn't see the episode of the East End bookie this week. I don't think he had one, obviously, but I'm sure the odds are in Shaw's favor. Yeah, no, I'm staying with Shaw. Shaw won me over. Shaw's won me over. Wolfie won me over too. I'm sure he's out at the local pubs, training, getting ready for this fight like he was when he was the tag match with Damien, and it seemed to work with Damon Kemp. So
yeah.
That'll be it. That'll be it for that episode of NXT UK. And Gary, before we let you go, two huge pay-per-views. Well, one huge pay-per-view for WWE. We have an Impact Plus special against all odds. Josh Alexander versus Joe Doran for the Impact World Championship. And then you got Money in the Bank on Saturday. So any predictions? I know there's 2 spots open. I know you're still calling for a spot for somebody to join the Good Brothers and James Storm now that the Briscoes are out.
Enzo Amore. No, I mean, I have gone for them to win actually, and I have gone for Josh Alexander to take the win as well over Joe Doring. I know we were talking before from pre-production about how he hasn't been pinned and stuff, but I'm going to go for Josh for that. But for the Money in the Bank, I'm taking 2 risks. It's not like me, but I'm gonna go Matt Riddle. Sorry, don't call me Matt. Sorry, just Riddle. I wasn't going to, but I'm gonna go for him because I think that they're playing that underdog story slightly with him. And then I'm going to go Raquel Rodriguez for the women's Money in the Bank. I'm gonna go for. I think that they're gonna just kind of give her an opportunity to step up a wee bit. So,
Gary, I it's a spoiler for the. At the end of the show, I didn't tell any of the guys. I told Ryan I did this because I needed to, double check a couple things with him. But I did some digging. I did some research, Gar. We're not good at picking Money in the Bank winners, so you're on par with everybody else, and I'm sure it's going to be something like Otis happening all over again. But Riddle's got the story, and he said that his path back to Roman Reigns is the Money in the Bank briefcase because he's not allowed on SmackDown anymore. So,
or maybe it'll be Elias and Ezekiel's brother Elrod. Maybe he'll win it instead. It'll be like he'll come through.
Me too, Gary. That's Ryan starting the Me Too movement again. So, Gary, thank you again as always for staying up late with us tonight. We appreciate you as always. maybe if there's any other applications for the baddies or something else, a little more risque.
That's it.
A
I'll
little
try
more
my best.
alley.
I'll try my best. I'll have to wear a push-up bra this time or something, Justin. Then, like,
Harry, thanks a lot, pal. Be in touch with you, pal. You have yourself a great night tonight.
see you later.
So we bring back in John Smith. We bring back in John DeConnie. We're going to go 3 strong for a little bit as we make the always so seamless transition from NXT UK to NXT stateside. And as I flip my notes, John Smith, at the beginning of last week's episode of NXT 2.0, Tony D said to Santos that if he doesn't walk out of here with the North American title, there's going to be hell to pay.
Oh, and there will be hell to pay because he did not walk out with that title. I mean, we had a nice contest between the two of them, and Trick was on the side, and then Legato and the family was on the side, and Santos slid the brass knuckles quite deliberately to Carmelo instead of Tony Mischkanish. It was instead of straight in front of him, it was like 45 degrees to the right. Yeah. So there was no mistake in that one. So I look forward to see. I mean, everything was so predictable about this because you knew this was going to happen, but it's so good that you don't care.
Yeah. that's a valid point. There you go. What's NXT? I laugh every time. Actually, I think they always show it during Raw when they an NXT commercial and their tagline is "as close as it gets." Close as it gets to what? Like
the main roster?
I guess it's as close as it gets. What is it? I guess it's close to whatever. You just don't care. I guess that's as close as it gets.
Or maybe like all the seats are really close because it's such a small arena.
Yeah, maybe Nickelodeon Studios. John Smith, we had other members of the family. We had Joaquin Wilde and Cruz del Toro going up against Diamond Mine earlier in the night. And that didn't go well either.
It did not. This is kind of along the same lines where it was either Stacks or Two Dimes. I don't know. Two Dimes went for the trip with the crowbar, but of course he tripped his own guy and not the guy he was going for. Wink, wink. So Legato takes the loss on that one. But like I said, this is very predictable, but it's such a good angle and good story, and I can't wait to see where it goes next because when it blows up and it just is the one-on-one between Santos and Tony, it's going to be awesome.
John DeConnie, this one shocked me. I'll call this an upset. I did not have Grayson Waller cleanly. As close as it gets. Beating Solo Sikoa. Are you on mute?
Sorry. Yeah, so it was otherwise clean except for the part where Grayson pulled off a turnbuckle pad earlier, so that 5 minutes later when Solo charged at him in the corner and Grayson bailed, Solo hit the turnbuckle ring, and I guess even though he hit it with his shoulder, it knocked him loopy in the head because that's how things work when you're in Orlando, Florida, I guess. Anyway, Waller had bailed and took his running head start 50 feet down the aisleway, came back in for his tumbling stunner, and a 1-2-3. Grayson Waller gets the win on Solo Sikoa.
Yes, it's somewhat clean. I don't know when Grayson grabbed the turnbuckle, he was trying to get away from. I guess he was getting German suplexed or something. Yeah. I don't think that was in his game plan to pull that turnbuckle off. So that's why I kind of want to chalk this up to a clean win with weird.
He's done that. He's done exactly that before, though.
Yeah, it's I guess. He plays it off well. Yeah. Grayson Waller back on the win streak. Defeating Solo, that's a big win for him. I consider that to be a big win. Apollo Crews, he's just looking for fights while he's walking around reading his diary out loud. Hashtag fearless. I'm shocked he's allowed to use that, right? Is he a Bella now? Apollo Bella? That we call him? Actually, I shouldn't say that. He's walking around fighting people for no reason. Last week wasn't, he was beating up bullies last week. So
he's gonna find you at ShopRite.
Yeah, exactly. He's gonna find me at ShopRite and just beat me up. Yeah, just call me Bella. The Irish Ace, J.D. McDonough, is coming soon. John DeConnie McDonough.
Yeah, buddy.
There you go. Von Wagner defeated Brooks Jensen after the Death Valley suplex. That match, nobody was allowed at ringside, and when was the last time that actually held true? Like, I was expecting Robert Stone and Sophia Cromwell to be down there. They made the rules. I figured they would be the ones to break it, and now it's straight up win. But Von Wagner, I guess, doesn't need the help when it comes to NXT UK Tag Team Champion Brooks Jensen.
Well, I mean, he also had that devastating maneuver in his back pocket when Jensen came off the top ropes and Wagner basically RKO'd his wrist.
Yeah. Wesley was an in-ring promo explaining how he was damn close to being at rock bottom. Interrupted by Trick Williams. Smack was talked, so they're eventually going to fight. There wasn't booked for tonight, but maybe eventually. But looking at Trick Williams, kind of breaking out onto his own a little bit. He has, he's been kind of just riding the coattails of Carmelo Hayes for the time being, and is wrestling in tag matches and then taking losses. But he's going to get his own story for him. Tiffany Stratton thinks Wendy Cho is a loser at life. That was fun. Cameron Grimes defeated Idris Analfi after a cave-in. Cameron Grimes getting an NXT Championship match next week. We'll get into that next week at the Great American Bash. Joe Gacy did a promo with his dyad. I mentioned this last week. I think we're idiots. I said it out loud, and then I didn't put two and two together here. The dyad, is that Grizzled Young Veterans?
They seem bigger for some reason. But I guess
Gacy's not a big guy either. I mean, Zach Gibson can kind of, one of them's bigger than the other. That's my prediction. It's going to be Gibson and what's his name? Seth Green.
I just assumed that it was two Performance Center guys, but that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Because if it's not Grizzled Young Veterans, they are dangerously close to being on the next set of releases, and I don't know if I like that.
That'd be a damn shame.
Yeah. Tia Hall, John Smith. Tia Hall's rooming with Bodie at Chase U in the famous Peters Hall.
Apparently, they have co-ed dorms.
Yeah, that's what they've been saying.
Everybody says that.
Everybody says that.
What does that even mean?
Yeah. Oh, Chase U, gotta love it. Alba Fire, actually, John Connie. I put a Chase U gif on the compensation thread.
Love it.
Yeah, I'm gonna start doing that. I put Johnny Swinger. I tried, if I remember, I put Johnny Swinger up on the Impact threads. Alba Fire defeated Lash Legend via disqualification after Lash used Alba's bat to hit Alba. So to be continued with that. Going into tonight's action, Nikita Lyons, John Smith, congratulations. Nikita Lyons back tonight, back early from her, I guess she has a knee injury. You're going to see a split down tonight, John Smith.
Absolutely. We're going to see some inaction get taken out in about 2.5 minutes, probably.
Due to the new name policy, he's now going by Mr. Stone. Good for Bobby Stone, Robert Stone. He's a bro man. Jersey Shore style. Ichiban Jiro with a great question for Giovanni. Are you style strong? John Smith, you giving your buddy here a chance here, Ichiban Jiro?
No, Jiro's going to get laid out in this one. This is going to be a good match, though. But, yeah, I got Vini Vinci.
Vini Vinci. John DeConnie. Yeah. Actually, John Smith, I know you're the family guy. John, not that I want to throw John Smith's the NXT guy here. Is it when Giovanni Vinci, is he going to join Tony D or is he going to go after Tony D? That's going to be
it's going to be the real Italian versus the American Italian.
I believe the Italian American is preferred nomenclature. John DeConnie.
It's going to be the issue here. It's going to be a big blow off sauce versus gravy match.
On a pole. Senga, they got into it last week. Zion Quinn, Senga talking with the ladies. Zion Quinn, I guess, didn't like whatever. And Senga's just pissing off people just by being around, with the exception of the ladies. The ladies love him, it looks like. You're going to give Zion Quinn a chance here, John DeConnie?
Yeah, I think he's always got a chance, and if they hadn't built this the way they built it, I might even pick him here, but I think this one's going to Sanga.
Biscuits and gravy made me a man. There you go. Now I'm missing to
whose theme song was that?
Biscuits and gravy.
It was something in gravy. Whose theme song was it?
There's something for Ryan Joy to look up backstage. John Smith, who do you got in this?
The biscuits and gravy thing threw me off. Wow.
It sounds like James Storm, but I don't think it is.
I'm gonna go with Sanga. They got Zion on quite the losing streak, and I don't think that's going to anytime soon.
Exactly. So if he's not beating Wesley, I don't think he's beating Sanga. So let's just I'll keep it at that. Jesse and Festus?
Maybe.
Did you know, John Smith? I was at ShopRite today, food shopping, and somebody came up to me. He's like, "Did you know that Luke Gallows was Festus from back in 2005?"
And you said, you mean Sex Ferguson?
Sex Ferguson. Indy Hartwell backstage interview interrupted by Kiana James talk nerdy to me, girl, who threw some shade towards Indy. So they're going to fight about it. Is that the Biscuits and Gravy song?
Sorry.
Is that Biscuits and Gravy?
Yep, it was Jesse and Festus.
There we go. Thank you very much, James Wheeler. Kiana James, Indy Hartwell. John the County.
Oh, God. I do support indie wrestling, but I think this is a build for Kiana James. So I'm going to go with Kiana James here.
Nice. John Smith. Kiana James doesn't even have a spot on WWE.com's roster yet. So, that's why I'm going to go Indy Hartwell right now.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Indy also. I think that she doesn't need to be losing to some rando.
Okay, just to lead into the next match, James Wheeler very high on Cora, Indy, and Roxanne. They have so much potential athleticism and charisma. Together, they are the future of the entire WWE. There you go. There was a tag team match last week. Katana Chance, Caden Carter, they defeated Leon and Faraz after that 450 neck breaker double team that they do. Then later on in the night, there was an in-ring promo with Toxic Attraction, saying last week's main event was a fluke that they lost to that team that James just said between Indy Roxy and Cora. Cue up Roxanne Perez, who's on the top of the world right now. She wants the tag titles with Cora. Okay. Before we get into the match, is this is heel tactic here? No. You don't want the women's. We're besties. Let's get the tag titles. You think is Cora in her ear right now, persuading her to?
Winning is even better when you get to do it with your best friend.
Yeah, right. This is a bunch of malarkey. That Johnson. Oh man. Anyway, so I think there's as they say in the MCU, Easter eggs for a Cora Jade heel turn here when things go south, but I don't think that's going to happen for a while. But if she pisses away that contract on the tag titles, that's not going to be good. Cue up Katana Chance and Caden Carter. They want the tag titles as well. A brawl ensued. So they're going to have a number one contenders match tonight. The winners will get Toxic Attraction at the Great American Bash next week. So the good news about this is, I guess, as far as my theory goes, she's not going to have to use the contract if they win this match. So John Smith, as our senior NXT correspondent, who do you got challenging Toxic Attraction next week?
They just had Casey and Caden do it a few weeks ago.
Yeah, so
pay-per-view.
So
I know. They've done plenty of rematches, and like you said, it makes more sense for them to use the contract on a title shot. But I'm going to go with the youngins on this one, and then probably ultimately lose, and then use the contract to get a rematch, maybe.
John the Connie.
Yeah, that makes the most sense. Every time Caden and Katana now get a chance, I keep saying, when is it going to happen?
Yep.
But I still don't think it happens here. So give me Roxy and Cora.
Yeah, yes.
They have a better chance of winning the main roster tag team championships.
That was a little heelish last week with Katana and Kaden. That was a little heelish.
Yeah.
Maybe they lose, and then maybe they. I don't know. I think they turn heel at some point, and they cost Roxy and Cora. Then maybe if Roxy and Cora win the tag titles, that'll be that next tag title feud with Kaden and Katana as the heels. So yeah, this is Cora and Rock. They're I won't say unbeatable right now, but they're pretty damn close to it. It's as close as it gets. So that will do it for NXT. We're going to take down the 3-person brag. We're going to bring back in Ryan Joy from minutes to bell time after I put as he fall to the bottom part of this. Very, very good. Ryan Joy, glad to have you back. We got a lot of picks coming up between Impact and Money in the Bank. Raw even gave us a gift last night. We had a match a week in advance. Usually we don't get that out of Monday Night Raw. But we're going to stay with Impact first. Ryan Joy, if you want to preface this upcoming match first, it started back in New Japan when Ace Austin joined the Bullet Club.
Yeah, both these guys were in Battle of the Super Juniors, and both had really good showings. So, of course, Alex Zane coming off his NXT run, pretty much the biggest thing he did of note was going to that Battle of Super Juniors, and now he is facing Ace Austin here. So I'm going to pick Ace Austin, though, because usually what I like to do is pick Ace Austin, and then he loses. So...
Yeah, I believe Ace Austin, he led, there was a backstage interview, John DeConnie with Ace in the Bullet Club, and they jumped Alex Zane in the locker room, right?
Yeah, and because Zane had started it by going into the Bullet Club locker room over in Japan. I mean, who walks in there, 1-on-8? That's just not good business.
I'm sure he didn't knock.
I don't believe so.
Nope.
Did he at least have some tacos?
What's that?
Did he at least have some tacos?
No.
Do they have tacos in Japan? I don't know.
They call them something different. Give me
John Smith.
Yeah, they call him Ota. Give me Ace Austin.
By the way, Ryan, just real quick, going back to Forbidden Door, and I saw it on the conversation thread. Maggie was so excited to have the New Japan ring announcer. I was too.
Yeah,
I don't think he did his job though. Like
I agree. Until he got to
he was limited. I didn't like that.
Yeah, so he is the stateside ring announcer, and Maggie and I have seen him perform, I guess, announce, and he usually does a much better job. But it's kind of like I don't know, if you go to like a high school sports game. Listen to me. High school sports, and you see an announcer. The home team always gets like the so and so for 3, and then the away team scores John Smith for 2. That kind of thing. It's kind of how it felt like to me.
Yeah, well, they do that in professional sports too, not just high school. So yeah, I guess since New Japan was the visitors, they were the road team in this one.
Yeah.
I guess get the BS announcing. All right. Anyway, so Frankie Kazarian, he's going to stick around Impact for one more week to finish the reason why he showed up there in the first place, because he was answering a challenge by Chris Sabin. The battle of the futures, the Future Shock versus the Back to the Future. I said this a couple of weeks ago when it was originally scheduled. A winner is me. This just brings me back to the day. The match a couple of weeks ago did not have a winner. Both gentlemen were jumped by Honor No More, which led to that happening at Slammiversary. So now we should have a winner here. And other than me, John DeConnie, what do you got?
All of us for starters, but give me Sabin in this one, I suppose, since he is on his home turf.
That is, home field advantage, Ryan Joy, against AEW's Frankie Kazarian.
Yeah, Sabin is more important to Impact than Frankie Kazarian is to Impact or AEW. So I think that he needs to win this match.
John Smith.
This is at the special, or this is on Thursday?
This is on Thursday. He's going to main event on Thursday.
Give me Kazarian then.
All right. I got Chris Sabin. Hail Sabin. Picked him all those years ago. Picked him 2 weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago, whatever it was. I'm not going to go against him now. So that will take us. Everything else that's going to happen Thursday is going to leak into Against All Odds. Real quick. And so here are the overall standings going into Against All Odds. John DeConnie, how was your week on the top? Good?
It was the greatest 5 days of my life.
There you go. Ryan Choi took a quick brain fart. Quickly took over back over the lead, throwing up a 10-2 at Forbidden Door. Travis right on your heels, John DeConnie. I had a decent showing. I gained some points at Forbidden Door. Gary, John Smith, everybody is over 300. Everybody is within 80 points of each other. This is where it's going to get fun. Travis Sedrins is leading the Impact standings at the moment, throwing up a 15-9 record for 114 points. This is already the fourth show of the season for Impact.
Nice.
They just keep on spitting this stuff out. John DeConnie with 100, John Smith 85, tied with Ryan Joy. I had 84, Gary 82, so we got a little bit of a train wreck going down there on the bottom. Impact Plus Specials, you got 5 points for the Impact title match, 3 for all other titles, 1 for the non-title. Anything in a promotional gets a +3, which I don't believe, but I think they stopped that, so I think I might just take that down. The countdown matches, if there are any, they will not count towards a score. And if you go perfect, if you go Henning, you get 5 points. Mia Yim last week. There you go. Yep. Oh, there you go. Now you can see. You can blend it into the background there.
Yep.
Mia Yim defeated Chelsea Green after Mickie James again. Mickie James is starting to get annoying. Got into Deonna Purrazzo's business, which allowed Mia to hit Eat Defeat on Chelsea Green for the win. They're going to get at it in a tag team match. Mickie James, Mia Yim against my favorite besties, Deonna Purrazzo and Chelsea Green. John DeConnie, I spy a Jersey girl.
Yeah, and I gotta go with Deonna and Chelsea. I just like that team too much.
Yeah, and that's pretty much what it is. And I feel like I'm sacrificing a point here, which is not, I see it coming this time. Normally, sometimes I don't see it coming. This time I see it coming. Ryan Joy.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Mia Yim and Mickie James. I think I didn't pick Mia Yim before, and it's okay. She didn't win, but I'm picking her this time. She's still fairly new.
Yeah, and Mickey's the legend. Yeah, this all signs are pointing towards those two, John Smith. You think Deonna Chelsea can pull this out?
This is actually probably the hardest match on the card to pick. I'm gonna go with Mia. It's just because she's new, like Ryan said.
Madison Rayne isn't medically cleared due to a broken nose. They were approached by Giselle Shaw, who offered to fill in. Madison, as they were walking away, rejecting her, Madison kind of thought about it and said, go take out Taya or Rosemary, and we'll think about it. So this Thursday, we got Giselle Shaw going up against Rosemary, one half of the tag team champions. I'm assuming if Giselle Shaw gets the win here, there's going to be a tag team championship match with Giselle teaming with Tennille Dashwood to go up against Rosemary and Ty Valkyrie. So that's going to be the match we're going to pick, unless you can just say Rosemary wins this and screw the whole thing. Quick side note, shout out to Giselle Shaw's surgeon. Had me fooled on that one. John DeConnie.
I'm going to say that let's please talk about this after the show. I'm going to say that Giselle Shaw wins on Thursday, setting up the tag title match that you described on Friday, where Taya and Rosemary retain.
John Smith.
I'm gonna go with Rosemary on this one. And in unrelated news, Al is getting divorced.
Yeah, my wife was not happy when I admitted that out loud on Sunday.
I agree with John DeConnie. I think Giselle Shaw gets the win, and then the champions retain.
Yep, I completely agree with that as well. They just got Ty Valkyrie. You got two of the greatest knockouts champions of all time teaming together as tag champions. I think it's going to take a little bit more. Teal can hold her own. It's going to take a little bit more than Madison Rayne or Giselle Shaw. So we'll do that. There's a number one contenders right now on the graphic for it. I searched all of Twitter. They have nothing for this. I missed it. Maybe I don't know, but there's a number one contenders fatal 4-way match on Impact on Thursday for the X Division Championship. It's going to be Chris Bay versus Steve Macklin versus the Laredo Kid versus Trey Miguel, and one can only assume the winner of that match is going to get Mike Ball Speed Bailey for the X Division Championship at Against All Odds on Friday. So we got Bailey versus question marks at the moment. Who do you have winning the fatal 4-way, Ryan? And then who do you got? You have the Speedball retaining.
Yeah, Speedball retains. I got that. Who is he going to beat? I'm going to not pick Macklin. I'll go with Trey Miguel.
Yeah, I'm thinking Trey Miguel as well. Macklin, Chris Bay. Chris Bay is just getting the bleep end of the stick lately, John.
Although, I'll tell you what, Laredo Kid versus Bailey would be a good match. And Laredo Kid doesn't need to win that, so could go with that too.
All right. John Smith. It's a short notice thing. You could throw Laredo Kid there just out of left field.
Yeah.
I like Chris Bay, and then I think Ball Speed.
John
Ball
DeConnie.
Speed Bailey.
Yeah, you got three good. Not that Macklin match wouldn't be good, but you got three good high flying matches there, whether it's Bay, Laredo Kid, or Trey Miguel. I'm going to say they decide to start with Trey Miguel so that eventually they can maybe circle back around to him after a little while. So give me Trey Miguel winning the number one contender match, then losing at Against All Odds.
Okay. Sami Callihan defeated in action after the Cactus Driver 97. Post-match attack by Moose put Sami through a table. Sami found Gail Kim in the back afterwards. And god damn it, we're going to press this button hard right now, John DeConnie. Thank you very much. Here we go. Ask for a Ravens Clockwork Orange House of Fun match, which, by God, that is an original idea from way back in the day. But wait, there's more. Raven will be in attendance this Friday for his match. It is written, so therefore it shall come to pass. Quote the Raven, John DeConnie.
Nevermore. Yes. Yeah. We talked about it I think I actually got that one right at Slammiversary, that Sami actually won a gimmick match for a change. But multiple people, I think Ryan was the first one to say it, that there's usually this big build and then Sami loses the gimmick match. So I'm going to go with that being the case here. Perhaps with Raven's involvement, perhaps screwing Sami over. Maybe we even get a match between those two in the next couple of weeks. So give me Moose winning the Clockwork Orange House of Fun match.
Yeah, John, what about Raven? John Smith.
Yeah, well, I loved Raven back in the day. Him versus, what was it, Big Show and Kane?
That was my top
match.
Yeah.
That's
one of the greatest WrestleMania matches of all time.
Dude, that's a guy that should have been world champ somewhere besides ECW and early Impact or whatever. Yeah, I'm going with Moose. I was thinking just because of 50-50 booking more than anything.
Ryan Joy. So you have Raven there. Now, Raven, way back in the day, used to manage PCO.
That's
Can we
something
somehow
like that.
dust off Jacques Rougeau and just have a Quebecers reunion here?
Johnny Pope PCO. Yeah, that'd be great. Oh, good callback. Yeah, I'm doubling down on what I said before. Sami Callihan doesn't win these gimmick matches. He's certainly not getting 2 in a row. But don't take it from me, though. I went like 2-11 at that last Impact show.
Yeah, but Yeah, it's hardcore rules. You put Moose's size and everything in that, but Moose is going to be fed. Moose is going to be able to see daylight. Moose is going to have some order within the past 24 hours of this match. So I think that more than anything, that's I think that was the excuse that they were giving him at Slammiversary, that a well-conditioned athlete like Moose can't operate under these circumstances. So,
but Sammy, somebody who's in ill shape, can.
Yeah, exactly.
No
Yeah, because he was 20 years old, you know?
yeah. He. Oh, God. Starvation doesn't impact him as much.
Yep. Tasha Steelz is looking to get her title back. Weird stipulation that I guess this came out completely wrong in a backstage interview. Tasha said that Jordan had to beat Savannah Evans on Thursday in order to face her against all odds. The hell does Jordan care if Tasha Steelz wants to fight or not? The match is booked. The Knockouts Women's Championship. Tasha's invoking a rematch, and Jordan's got Savannah Evans on Thursday. But Tasha just. I think she felt like she was still champion. She's like, no, Jordan's got to go through Savannah to get to me. And it's like, no, you don't have to do that anymore. You're not the champion anymore. So, John Smith, you got Tasha. That's my Jersey girl here. You got Tasha getting her belt back.
I don't think so. No, I got Jordan Grace winning this one. Too soon.
I enjoy.
Hey, Jordan Grace, she knocked off the longest reigning Knockouts Women's Champion of all time, Taya Valkyrie, to win her championship 2 years ago now.
Yeah,
I think it's too soon for her to lose that title.
Yeah, John DeConnie, they had an impact, backstage, whatever, after Jordan won the championship at Slammiversary, and she's hell bent on holding that thing for a long time. And you know what? She's putting in the work. She's not shy on Instagram, showing her in the gym wearing next to nothing, lifting 5 times what I can do.
Yeah, and you're not going to get me to not pick Jordan Grace twice in a row here. So give me your retention there.
Yeah, I got Jordan Grace as well. Honor No More started the show with an in-ring promo. Tired of everybody celebrating Slammiversary. Interrupted by America's Most Wanted. Told Honor No More that they sucked, and then eventually America's Most Wanted, along with the Good Brothers, stormed the ring for a brawl. Shortly followed by the Briscoes. Then they cleaned house. Backstage, Honor No More went right to Scott D'Amore. So D'Amore put them in a 10-man tag at Against All Odds. But also Eddie Edwards, Mike Bennett, Matt Taven, they had a main event tag team match last Thursday against the Briscoes and James Storm, which Honor No More won. And then post-match beatdown, they got rid of the Briscoes to the same fate that happened to Heath and that happened to Rhino. That was a personal attack on the Briscoes. Now Rhino and Heath, I think maybe that's just wrong place, wrong time for them. But where's it called? The Briscoes traitors. They were in Jay's ear. You should be with us, with Honor No More, because they're all Ring of Honor guys. They're all supposed to go over there together. But we have a 10-man tag team match. You got Honor No More. PCO looks like he's the odd guy out here. Kenny King replaced them. And I guess they kind of took a shot as well, John DeConnie. Eddie took a shot at PCO for losing the match at Slammiversary. So even PCO kind of turned his head on that one.
Yeah, he pointed him out early in that promo. Yeah, it was a little awkward. And then they just kind of went away from it.
James Storm's going to team with the Good Brothers, who I guess are going to be on FTR's radar. That match is going to happen at some point.
Not like Kenny King won his match.
We got Gary's calling Enzo Amore. I know Cass is not an Impact anymore. Chris Harris, John DeConnie, not allowed to wrestle.
Yeah, exactly. He made a promise to his family. I honestly don't know who was going to get plugged in there. Now, I know Rhino, they took him out. They broke his leg. But we've seen Heath, right, since then?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. So I thought maybe we'd get a 1-1. I don't know. You know what? Honor No More's got to do some winning at some point, on a big show. So I'll take them here in this 5-on-5.
Chris Sabin doesn't have anything going on right now. John Smith, Sabin can join this. I don't know because then we're repeating Slammiversary again. If we kind of actually no, we're not. But Sabin,
maybe Sabin and Kazarian. Maybe they have like a little handshake hug moment after their match.
Yeah, or Shelly too. Shelly's on the roster again. Just get the machine guns back together again.
Yeah. Give me Honor No More though, just because they're the like real complete team. You know, they should be able to work together to win.
Yep. Brian Joy.
Let's see. So for the mystery partners, give me. I like Gary's pick. We'll go with Enzo Amore, and let's add Wentz in there too. So he has something to do.
Yeah.
And those guys can hang out together probably just fine. And that team's gonna. I think that team will win. Give me the Good Brothers, James Storm and Enzo Amore and Wentz.
I think they paid too much attention to the Chris Harris thing. Storm and Harris had a moment backstage. Now, I don't know the exact Chris Harris story. I know after he originally left Impact, I know he showed up in the new ECW, the WWE ECW. And I did watch a Pritchard podcast episode where they mentioned him, and he was a mess. Like, he showed up out of shape. He this, that, and the other. So I'm assuming all the stuff is just stemmed maybe off that. But you bring it up so that they can use it, so you know the backstory as to why Chris Harris is going to turn on James Storm and the Good Brothers and join Honor No More because they didn't want his help. They keep on telling him to stay away. And Harris even said, he's like, no, man, I can go. He wants to go. And someone's telling him no. He can't tell a grown man no. So give me Chris Harris with the heel turn and an Honor No More victory. As far as the mystery opponents, it could be the winners of the tag team match, Bhupinder Gujjar and Shark Boy. They defeated Johnny Swinger and Zicky Dice after a middle turnbuckle spear by Gujjar. Or Gujar, I'm sorry, I keep on saying that wrong. Doring and Diener came out post-match, clean house, demanding that Josh Alexander get in the ring. Diener reminds us all that Joe Doring is undefeated, and the last time that they fought, Joe Doring won. Conspicuous by his absence was Eric Young. Violent by Design began the beatdown of Josh Alexander. Then right after that, Josh Alexander defeated Diener with an ankle lock. This does raise two questions in regards to Against All Odds. One, does Josh Alexander make Joe Doring submit John DeConnie? And two, being a world title match and being probably the one and only opportunity that Joe Doring will get, will we see some sort of pay-per-view world title poofy-ass jacket that's just obnoxious for Joe Doring to wear to the ring? Like, I want him to go all out for this.
My Impact inside sources say that Joe Doring's been on the phone to Seth Rollins' haberdasher. So there will be an obnoxiously large jacket. But I think Joe Doring will continue to go unpinned, but he will tap to an ankle lock.
He's going to tap. That's what it is. I want to see how we do this, too, because I don't know, like, does a man like Joe Doring, he hasn't said boo, right, since he's joined Impact, about a year and a half ago, John Smith. How do you see this playing out?
Yeah, I think he's gonna come out in a full bear skin rug, but like on his head as like a hood and stuff, you know.
And then the cowboy hat's on the bear hat, on the bear head.
On the bear head, yeah. And, I don't think he's gonna tap out. I think it's gonna be a possible Raw roll-up situation. You know, maybe like he just catches him with something, you know, or maybe even a count-out victory, but for Josh Alexander.
All right, Ryan Joy. I think you said you were going the other way with this one. You don't think that Josh can put him down for 3, and you don't think you can make him quit?
So I like the idea of Joe Doring going over here and getting a win and building to another match, because it's piling on so quickly after Slammiversary to this match. It's for points though, and you got to pick Josh Alexander, but I like the idea of Joe Doring getting a win that doesn't get him the title. Count out, disqualification, no contest, something like that happened to this match to lead to another match.
Okay. So that will do it for Against All Odds. Please make sure you go to ProWrestlingPick'em.com. Play against us. Join the Essential Wrestling Podcast Pool 2022-23. Should be at the top of the list. So we are going to switch gears from Impact to WWE. We're going to start on SmackDown with some things that did not leak into Money in the Bank and whatever. It's a WWE pay-per-view, Ryan. So God forbid the Intercontinental Championship make it onto the show. But Gunther had his first ever title defense. You were able to watch that real quick in pre-production.
Years from now, when we're looking back at this era, and we're not going to watch every Raw and every SmackDown. We're just going to watch the pay-per-views. 20 years from now, we'll be like, man, when did they retire the Intercontinental Championship? Yeah. So that's going to happen. Yes, I watched the Gunther versus Ricochet match in pre-production, and I was stricken. I guess it's been a second since I've seen Gunther in the ring, and when he stands next to Ricochet, he's lost so much weight that the size advantage wasn't as big as I thought it was going to be. I know they just had a match like last week, but man, I was really stricken by how close in size they are. So anyway, Gunther still did dominate him. Powerbomb for the win. It was a ragdoll, 3 minutes. So I think that the story is over with. I think Gunther can move on to other challengers. But who? Do they have ready for him? Is it going to be Drew McIntyre? I guess he could run through the whole New Day or something, but...
Sonya Deville was backstage with Postman Pierce saying the women's division, mainly her, along with me, is upset with how she's being handled and unholy grudged by Adam Pearce right now. He put Sonya Deville in a handicap match against both Raquel Rodriguez and Lacey Evans. Yes, I know this isn't one-on-one with The Undertaker, but this is still, a tall order for Sonya Deville, and she didn't get the job done. John DeConnie, you want to run through this real quick? I forgot I got to do something.
Yeah, no problem. It just was, Sonya came out with Xia Li and Shayna Baszler kind of having her back, so you thought, all right, maybe she's got a plan here. They made a couple of swipes under the bottom rope, looking for ankles. They didn't really get all that much involved. And in the end, Raquel whipped Sonya to the ropes. And when she came off, she ran right into the women's right. And then a 1 and a 2 and a 3.
Yeah, post-match attack by Xia Li and Shayna Baszler, who were on Sonya's side. I like that trio right there. That's fun. Especially if Sonya and Shayna on the same page, and I feel like they would just truck everybody if they ever let them get the chance to. Same thing with Xia Li, too. They had a post-match attack, didn't work out so well. Raquel and Lacey fought them off. The New Day against Jinder Mahal and Shanky never started because Jinder got in Shanky's face telling him not to dance. But Shanky pushed him back. Jinder left the dance party in the ring with Shanky and the New Day. Interrupted by the Viking Raiders horn. They eventually were back. They eventually jumped the New Day and Shanky. They have new war paint. They are vicious, and they decimated the New Day. Let's go. Angelo Dawkins in the back doing his best impression of me on the Essential Wrestling Podcast, telling a gold joke and getting zero reaction from the people he's telling it to. Adam Pearce messed up the dressing room. All right, did I pronounce this correctly? Karothama? What did Dupree say? I don't know. The dressing room Karothama. And I didn't write this down. I did believe he used the word titillate again, which is fun.
Yes.
So we'll try it again next week. This is. Did anyone have a count on either Emelina, or Veer Mahan? I know that was a neck and neck coming soon, but this is 4 weeks now, 4 weeks now with Max Dupree. I like it.
This is going to be Veer Mahan. That's why it's taking so long.
Pat McAfee on his announce table. Pat McAfee on top of his announce table, or I guess now we can officially call that the McAfee position, since we're just naming all these positions now. Says he feel alive and he wants bum-ass Corbin at SummerSlam. So that match is booked for July 30th. Oh, I forgot to promote. Damn it, I forgot to tell Gary. I wanted to do something during Gary's segment. Forgot to do it. So
Save
that'll
it.
lead us to last night on Monday Night Raw. Quick rundown. That's not Money in the Bank involved. Mr. McMahon appeared again on Raw, this time to introduce John Cena. And then Cena blamed us for the past 20 years of his career. We're responsible for it. Thanks, John. Appreciate it. That was a heel turn. We wanted him to turn heel. He's blaming us. He's finally gave John Cena heel turn. No, I didn't do this. You did.
Because of the fans.
Yeah.
Classic because of the fans line.
He is going to wrestle again, just not sure when. Nothing was set up for SummerSlam like we had hoped. So, there you go. Cena Nation forever. What is this? Cesaro thing is out the window. Now it's going to be Mace and the Face. Mace the Face and Mansoor will be Triple M. Keep saying that. Okay. In-ring interview with The Miz after there was a Battle Royal start the show. We'll get into that in a second. In-ring interview with The Miz saying Logan Paul and himself are teaming together at SummerSlam despite what happened at WrestleMania. Interesting. Topic of conversation turned to AJ Styles, who then came out and punched Miz in the face. AJ Styles then went on to beat The Miz via countout after The Miz took a walk. So I'm kind of hoping this leads into Money in the Bank. We're not going to predict that. There's 36 matches. Like WWE, for whatever reason, likes to stay at the 6-match mark, and 2 of them are ladder matches. So maybe we'll have to wait for next week on that one. Speaking about next week, like I said earlier in the show, we actually have a match to pick. Apparently, the Judgment Day approached the Mysterios, putting a little seed in Dom's head that Dom isn't succeeding in WWE because Ray is a failure as both a teacher and a father. We all know. Yeah,
He's not a father.
Exactly. We all know that, Ray is his T.O., his uncle. John Smith, the Judgment Day, back on TV.
Yeah, I'm going with Judgment Day here.
Ryan Joy,
Yep, same.
John DeConnie.
Yes, sir. Make it a clean sweep.
All right, let's make it's such an easy pick. Do we get a Dom Mysterio heel turn?
No.
Ryan, no, not this Monday. Eventually, do we eventually get a Dom Mysterio?
Maybe we get a long-awaited. We've been waiting 45 years for Rey Mysterio to turn heel. Maybe he'll turn heel instead. Nobody will see that. And it is SummerSlam.
Yeah, John Smith.
What was the match again? I'm sorry.
No. It's the same match. Do we eventually get a Dominic Mysterio heel turn? Does he eventually join Judgment Day? I'm not saying Monday, but at some point.
Yeah, we got to see the two of them fight each other at WrestleMania at some point. Ray versus his son. It's going to happen before he retires. So sooner or later.
So then,
But you don't think it'll be Rey Mysterio turning heel? That's what I said.
I don't think so because we've never seen a heel Rey Mysterio.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
John DeConnie, if Dominic Mysterio does turn heel, do we lose the pajama-looking ring attire?
No, I hope not. I love those vests, the vest with the built-in hood because he doesn't wear a mask yet.
Butt flap too.
There you go. But yeah, I don't think we get the heel turn
Ever? Not he doesn't join the Judgment. Okay.
I mean, they're both on record as saying they don't want that. They'll find some other way for him to pass on the family name or whatever. But so okay. I don't know. So
that will take us to Saturday night Money in the Bank, which I guess is followed by UFC. Everything's in Las Vegas. Here are our WWE standings. Ryan Joy with a slim lead over Maggie May after 2 shows. Who has an even slimmer lead over John DeConnie, Gary, myself, Travis, John Smith, 8 and 5 down the bottom. The scoring for Money in the Bank is 5. There's not going to be a Universal title match. Roman Reigns is not scheduled to compete next until SummerSlam. Brock Lesnar rule possibly in effect, might not, because if one of the Money in the Bank matches main events, I'm not going to drop a 15-point match down to 5 just because of the Brock Lesnar rule. So that'll stay the same. 3 points for all other titles, 1 point for the non-titles. Kickoff matches do not count. Perfect pay-per-view bonus, 15 points. And the Money in the Bank cash-in wager is live, gentlemen. The only way in the pool you could actually lose points. If you think there is a cash-in, if you're correct, you get 20 bonus points. But if you're incorrect, you lose 10. And this is strictly on the cash-in. Whether or not the participant wins the championship they are challenging for is completely irrelevant. We just need the official cash-in. So with that, as I have a comment coming in, we'll see Dominic on NXT. There we go. Drop down to the minors. Oh my God! Speaking of which, well, I'll get to it in a second. I did some deep dive information on us because I like to provide our viewers with statistics and numbers, and I'm big on that. So I want to bring to everybody's attention our own personal records picking Money in the Bank ladder matches. Oof. Over the I went back to as far as 2018 when they introduced the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. So I went back the past 5 years. Gentlemen, when you tell somebody they suck at something, it's pretty strong. I think we can safely assume we suck at picking Money in the Bank winners. Here are our history.
Wow, that's
last year, myself, John DeConnie, Ryan, we got Big E correct. Ryan also got Nikki Ash right.
I'm 3-1. That's passing.
Yeah, Ryan's got 3-1. Ryan's doing, but yeah, I don't know. Who knows what you would have done the years prior to that. But yeah, that's Ryan's got a passing grade right now. Everybody got Otis wrong in 2020. 2019, that match got thrown out because Brock Lesnar came out of nowhere, took out Sami Zayn, and won Money in the Bank. John Smith picking The Miz. Would love to remember that conversation 4 or 5 years ago. And then the first ever one, John Smith actually started off 2-0. Started off strong with Baron Corbin, Carmella. There you go. And I know John DeConnie, Gary, they picked Charlotte Flair in 2017. And from the notes and the emails that I saw, they actually picked them to picked Charlotte to cash in that night as well.
Wow.
So double doozy, losing points on that one. So we will start with the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. This past week on SmackDown, Shotzi defeated Tamina after the Never Wake Up, I guess is the name of her finisher, to qualify for the Money in the Bank. Aaliyah was apparently injured and could not compete. Rumors going around, or SpongeBob, because I love Aaliyah. I hope this is wrong. They did a practice run of the match. They didn't like it, sent her back down to Orlando.
Ouch.
Becky Lynch on Raw. She won a last chance elimination match to qualify. So Becky Lynch is in as well. After all that is said and done, Becky Lynch sneaks her way into the match. We have 7 women right now: Asuka, Alexa Bliss, Raquel Rodriguez, Liv Morgan, Lacey Evans, Becky Lynch, and Poopsie. I haven't called her that in a while. Ryan Joy, as the spouse of our senior WWE correspondent, who did you copy off of Maggie May's picks?
Well, she has not made her picks yet. So
she has not made her pick. Okay, so this is you coming in fresh. Okay.
She won't make her picks until I make my picks, and then she'll change one off of mine.
You keep saying that, but I'm not buying it.
I'm winning, all right? I've got 20% lead on her right now. It's kind of tough. Part of me says there's been all this build to getting in the match. Maybe she should win it. But then I'm looking at Lacey Evans, and there's a lot of attention on her, and looking at Raquel Rodriguez, and there's a lot of attention on her. It's never who I think it's going to be, except for that one time it was, or the 3 times it was, I guess. Anyway, give me Lacey Evans. I'm not picking her.
You have a 2-pick win streak here in the women's with Asuka.
Oh wow, yeah. Give me Lacey Evans.
Lacey Evans. I went down to Lacey Evans' path. I think that was during the COVID one. Yeah, Lacey Evans, look at 2020. Me and John Smith and Gary did. Yeah, Lacey Evans was the hot pick there.
Maybe I shouldn't pick her.
John Smith.
I really don't know who I'm picking in this one. It's the Liv Morgan, I guess, because I mean they've been beating around the bush with her for so long. Give her something to do for the summer.
John the County.
So I'm going to be rooting for Raquel because I think Raquel is who it should be. And I'm going to look for something on Friday night to make me change my pick after I make my pick here. But it just feels like the storyline has got Becky winning the goddamn briefcase.
It does, and actually, everybody and on both sides, on both the men's and women's, everyone's going to be on SmackDown on Friday. Like all hands on deck, just like they had with the Battle Royal and the elimination match last night. It was all the Raw and SmackDown participants. It was, but everybody, all 13 right now participants, and sure the 14th will be named on SmackDown, will be there. But yeah, I did it last year. I went with Liv Morgan. I'm going to try it again. I think, signs do kind of go to Becky here, but Liv has just been doing so well, and she's on TV every week, and she's shining. And the win last night over Alexa Bliss, chalk one up, roll up for Liv Morgan. That kind of, I was upset by that because now I don't think she's going to win. But I got Liv. I'm going to stick with Jersey on this one. And exactly, I don't say maybe give her something to do, but I think it'd be a fun moment, a Liv Morgan successful cash-in. That'd be a fun moment.
When I think about it, though, Becky's the only one that really makes sense because the SmackDown women on the list aren't going to be cashing in on Ronda Rousey because they're all faces, and on the Raw side you have the same issue. You've got Asuka and Liv Morgan, and Alexa Bliss. They're all kind of faces right now. They're going to be not cashing in on Bianca. So Becky's really the one that makes sense. I picked Lacey. Between now and Friday, I have to really do some soul searching.
Yeah, there you go. Which is code for Maggie. Who you picking?
We'll see. We probably will pick differently for sure.
Some soulmate searching.
Yeah, I kind of.
You got
feel
Shotzi though, right, Al? That's who you picked.
What's that?
You picked Shotzi, right? That's who you picked.
I'm going Liv again. No, I'm not gonna get poopsie. I'm kind of hoping Becky and Asuka cancel each other out. Like they just fight off into the crowd and it's down to a 5-woman match at some point. So we have a United States Championship match. Bobby Lashley, he defeated Alpha Academy in a handicap match after an electric chair drop on Otis. That's impressive. Then catching Gable coming off the top rope into a hurt lock. Post-match attack by Theory didn't go well. Fun little side note, during the John Cena Appreciation Night, he finally crossed paths with Theory. And Theory did a number on him. Theory said his piece. He was not afraid of him, and he said his piece, everything that he can't stand John Cena. Cena just took it, and then when Cena, Theory went to do a selfie, can't see John Cena. He bounced. So to be continued with those two, it won't be at SummerSlam because it didn't seem like, I feel like they would have set that up last night with John there. But we had the United States Championship match. John McConney over MVP's United States.
Yeah. After all the work Bobby did to get into this match, I don't see how he doesn't win. But, once again, I go back to my rant from the last pay-per-view. Is Theory Vince McMahon's boy? Is he not his boy? So half of me thinks he's going to hold on to it because he's Vince's boy. But I got to go Bobby here because I didn't think Bobby should have won the handicap match at the last pay-per-view because you can rebuild him at any moment. But if he's on the run there, he did all this to get into the match. I'm going to pick him to win here. So give me a new champ, Bobby Lashley. James
Wheeler, I forgot to put a comment up here. He's going, which they say the last spot for returning Bayley. Where the hell is Bayley? She's got to be fine by now, right? This is almost like a Becky Lynch thing where they're ready to come back and they're just not doing it for whatever reason. He's got Liv Morgan, and as I forgot to mention, we'll just post it during his picks. Gary went with Raquel Rodriguez as his pick. So, John Smith.
Wait, what was this match again?
United States title.
Bobby.
Bobby.
I got you. No, I'm going to go with Theory on this one by hook or crook. I don't think they're taking that belt off him yet, and I don't think Bobby should be getting quote unquote demoted to the U.S. Championship.
Ryan Joy, that belt was specifically made for Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, I've been over here thinking about this whole thing with Roman off, not on the shows, and you have so it kind of makes the Raw Championship really the United States title, and SmackDown is really the Intercontinental title, as long as Roman's going to be kind of off the show. So maybe Lashley wins this to carry it. And by the way, I've also been thinking in the back of my head, maybe Clash at the Castle is Gunther versus Drew McIntyre for the Intercontinental title. So give me Lashley here, and he's going to carry Raw with that title at the forefront.
Okay. I got theory in an upset. I don't know how. He definitely has to cheat. He definitely has to cheat. I don't know if Mr. McMahon is going to do something. I don't think he would, because it seems like he needs to be a face right now, quote unquote, doing all this stuff with John Cena and whatnot. But I think I probably would have went Lashley if something more escalated with Cena in that backstage segment, but it didn't. Mm-hmm. So let's just theory, but exactly by hook or crook, just let him cheat to win. Do something here. The Street Profits, speaking of John Cena, also asked John Cena for some advice. Simply put, never give up. Then Jey Uso went out, and then Montez Ford went out, defeated Jey Uso after I believe he jumped over the Money in the Bank briefcases to land on Jey Uso for the win. So we have an undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship match. Ryan Joy.
I don't think these guys are dropping the belts. Usos get the win here. Bloodline keeps the belts.
They're almost at a year, John Smith. The Usos, were they like 340 something? They're
they said something in the 340s on SmackDown or Raw. I got the Usos retaining, definitely.
John DeConnie.
Yeah, they're representing the bloodline, representing where all the gold sits, so it makes sense that they retain.
Yeah, I think Roman needs to be around more for when they lose, so we can ream them out for embarrassing the family. So if Roman's not going to be around, then you're not going to get that.
Exactly.
I don't think so. Just keep the Usos. No reason. Yep, keep the Usos going. In-ring interview with Bianca Belair, telling Carmella to bring it. Out comes Carmella saying Mella is money. Tries to sneak attack, didn't work this time. She got caught. And we have I feel like I haven't seen Carmella in a while. This is a flashback. Like this was I think it was like this time last summer these two were fighting, and then it was supposed to be Bianca and Sasha at SummerSlam. It ended up supposed to be Carmella. I remember Carmella came out before Becky did, so I remember the groans from all those, Carmella again. So, they fought at that concert, right?
Oh, right.
That outdoor concert, whatever. It was Bianca Belair versus Carmella. So we've seen this before. Bianca's whooped her ass every single time. Is this time going to be any different?
Who are you asking?
You're right. You. Sorry.
Nope. Bianca's going to win.
I like Bianca, I guess, but I also like the idea of Carmella somehow winning and then losing to the Money in the Bank winner, like immediately. So
so who'd you pick for Money in the Bank?
Liv.
Okay, so you got Liv cashing in on Carmella right there.
That's what I'm like torn between right now, because
it makes your Liv thing more. I can see that happening more.
Yeah, and then she opens up and goes, you know what? I'm doing it. I'm gonna pick the cash in. It's happening. I'm going with Carmella.
So you're picking Carmella, Liv, and you're picking cash in. That could be a lot of points lost right there. If it doesn't.
Exactly. But it doesn't have to be the cashing could be the cash. It doesn't have to be Liv Morgan specifically doing it. It just has to be
true. Yeah.
So it just has to be. It could be any one of the 7 cashing in on whoever wins.
It's the best
that
night
match,
to pick it. Yeah.
John DeConnie, this match was supposed to be Rhea Ripley. She got injured. I guess nobody knows how or why or when, but it seems like, let's just put it. it seems like sometimes where, let's just say, like Pretty Deadly and the Crews or whatever, like even though there's a substitute champion, they still go with the storyline anyway. So maybe if Rhea was supposed to win this match, they'll just give it to Carmella because they need Bianca to lose for whatever reason. Does that make sense? Like that's the only reason why. That's the only way I'm kind of giving Carmella a chance here, because if Rhea was supposed to win at this specific point in time, to lead into SummerSlam, then can Carmella do the same job?
She sure can. Yeah, I mean, there's no reason why she couldn't. I just don't see it happening. So I'm gonna stick with Bianca, but I'd be pleasantly surprised if Carmella were to take this title.
James Wheeler's going. Bianca Belair wins at Money in the Bank. Then it's Rhea beats Bianca at SummerSlam. Liv cashes in. See, that could have happened. That could happen. Maybe that was supposed to happen on Saturday.
Maybe weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's calling up for SummerSlam though. That'd be a pretty crazy SummerSlam concept. Ronda Rousey. I'm sorry, Natalya dressed as Ronda Rousey this Friday on SmackDown with an in-ring promo saying Ronda should just retire and focus on being a mother. Cue up Ronda Rousey to come out. Eventually, Natalya hit Ronda with the baby stroller that she had in the ring, and then walked away. Fun side note, as a former employee of Babies R Us in the baby gear department way back in the day, I do believe that was a Draco T7500 model baby stroller. And if you noticed, the stroller didn't break. So if there was a baby in it, baby would be okay. So shout out to our friends over at Graco. Good job.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. Free advertising for Graco.
Not yet.
Not yet, exactly.
Yeah. The BWP, the EWP, sponsored by Graco. I love it.
John DeConnie, as somebody who's walked with a stroller in their lifetime with little young John Zachary, who do you got in this match?
I did have a Graco pack and play and stroller, so yeah, they're good, the quality stuff.
Yeah,
wait, what are we picking right now? Oh, Ronda Rousey. Oh yeah, Ronda Rousey.
John DeConnie. Fun story about Babies R Us. I worked there for about 6 months when my sister was pregnant with my niece and my nephew David and I, who are now 18 years old and just graduated high school. But way back, it was a 2004 era. Work at Babies R Us. Get me the discount. Babies R Us, or the Toys R Us company, only offers you a 10% discount, employee discount. But my sister was getting a 10% multiple birth discount, and you can't combine the two, so I really worked there for no reason. As my mother would say, John DeConnie, no good deed goes unpunished.
Indeed. You folded a lot of onesies in vain.
That's it. Well, no, I was baby gear. I was folding the pack and plays. I always tell people I finished second in New Jersey. There was a pack and play folding competition.
All right, so getting back to Money in the Bank.
Yeah, right.
I will go with Ronda retaining here. Props to Ronda, or I don't know if I should give her credit for this or just say it shocked me, because I believe these two are good buddies in real life. The Natty trained her and whatnot. Ronda cut a scathing promo on her. But one of the first times Ronda had the mic in her hand, and I went like, "Oh, okay." But give me Ronda retaining.
I was right there with Ryan Joy when she ripped apart Nikki Bella before Evolution.
Yeah,
I remember that one.
Basically the same reasons.
Yeah. Ronda Rousey on this one though. I don't see Natalya becoming champion on this night.
I don't think it's going to be Charlotte Flair. The only person I hope it happens. The only person I can see beating Ronda Rousey for that title is Shayna Baszler, and I really hope we get that at some point.
That'd be fun. Yeah,
that'd be awesome. Now it's time for the men's Money in the Bank match. Drew McIntyre and Sheamus had to requalify. Apparently, I told you, like, of all the crap that was going on the week prior with everything that was going on with Vince and oh yeah, Sheamus just put them both. They had to rescind that after they rethought of it. So I thought that was kind of fun. Right about that. But then McIntyre and Sheamus, they defeated the Usos to requalify. After Claymore on Jay, apparently Paul Heyman had the influence not wanting McIntyre and Sheamus in the match because McIntyre is already planting the seed that when he wins Money in the Bank, if he wins Money in the Bank, he is cashing in on Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar after their last man standing match at SummerSlam. So, interesting theory on that one. Also on SmackDown, Sami Zayn defeated Shinsuke Nakamura after Nakamura rolled back into the ring into a hula kick to qualify for Money in the Bank. And then last night on Raw, Riddle won it's called a last chance battle royal, but let's just use a new word that we all learned. It was a penultimate chance battle royal because the last chance will go at some point. This had to be rescheduled. Kevin Owens versus Ezekiel or Elias or Elrod. I guess they're rolling with this Elrod thing. I guess Kevin Owens guessed right that there was a third Samson brother. Because Ezekiel mentioned Elrod. So I guess Kevin just threw out a name, and I guess he was right. So the winner of that match will be the 7th participant to join E6. And Ryan joined.
It doesn't get old, does it? It doesn't get old.
Never.
So we're gonna maybe just assume either on SmackDown on Friday they'll have Ezekiel versus Kevin Owens, or maybe on the buy-in show. Or the kickoff show, excuse me, wrong company. That's push-ups. Funny story. I guess somebody asked Kevin Owens where he was last night. How come he didn't show up? Responded on Twitter, I will never wrestle in Texas ever again. I hate that place. Or something along the lines. That went back to the WrestleMania thing. I hate Texas, leave me alone. I think it was I hate Texas, leave me alone. So that's why Kevin Owens wasn't on Raw last night. So
that's long-term storytelling.
That is very yes. John Smith, who do you got in the men's, John Smith? Last year, who'd you pick? You picked Riddle last year? Ooh, back-to-back picks here.
Yeah, and Riddle seems fun. And when you do the math, Roman Reigns can hit 1,000 days, and the person that wins this year can still be Money in the Bank. Mr. Money in the Bank. So they don't necessarily have to lose, but I feel like whoever wins this is going to lose. Is this Seth? And how does Omos not win? I'm gonna go. I guess I'm gonna go with Seth Rollins. I don't know.
James Wheeler agrees with you. He's got Seth Rollins to win, and he's positive that the 7th spot will be a surprise. Having somebody who's interested in debuting or coming back, like Johnny Gargano or MJF.
MJF.
That's bold prediction right there. It could be CM Punk, right?
That's long-term storytelling on AEW's part. Send MJF to WWE Money in the Bank.
He's the type of guy that would actually bring that thing back to AEW too, and totally WWE, and breach his contract and everything.
Ryan Joy, who do you got Money in the Bank?
Riddle. I think that match that he had with Roman was the highest rated segment in WWE in a long time, like a long time. So I think, they made his path hard the same way they made Becky Lynch's path hard to get to Money in the Bank. He had to lose to the giant Amos. And so I'm going to pick Riddle.
John DeConnie, Gary also picked Riddle.
Oh, it's also the only way he can face Roman again.
Yeah, he's banned from SmackDown, and Roman, he doesn't even want to work one show anymore, let alone both. So
exactly, and that's going back months. I thought that this was going to be Drew McIntyre's for the taking, but
oh, Charlie Connie, hold on. That'd be awesome. James Wheeler. Make sure Elrond is bold. All right,
bravo. But the way this whole thing is unfolded, where Riddle can't go to SmackDown, can't go to SmackDown at all. Like, this gives Riddle the opportunity to show up on SmackDown whenever he wants. He can just hang out there with the briefcase, saying, "Well, I might cash in tonight." So yeah, I'm going to go with Riddle.
All right, I said it when Deshaun Whipple was on. I made sure we went back and watched that show. My original thought was Drew McIntyre, completely forgetting about Cody, and then I got coerced. And I guess we were all supposed to be right because Cody was supposed to win this. But I'm going to go Drew McIntyre. I don't know if I said this last week or maybe it was just in my head. I don't know, maybe McIntyre's a bad person for this. I'm going to contradict myself, but I think it would be fun for whoever's cashing in. Maybe Riddle this would work for. Like, he cash in during the last man standing match, have Roman pin Riddle, and then continue with the last man standing match and win that. It's almost like a stack and rack, but just like in two sets. Like Roman wins 2 matches at the same time. Like, I think that would be a cool spot, but I don't think McIntyre's the right person. I had Drew McIntyre. I don't think it'll be. I think McIntyre's the type of person that would schedule a match with his contract and not back jump somebody or do something while somebody's injured or got their after a match. So even though he just said on Friday, I'm wrong. I want to go Drew McIntyre, but I'm wrong. There goes 50 between him and Liv Morgan. There goes 30 points. Gentlemen, we were going to wrap things up now. Son of a bitch. Talked myself out of my own pick.
You can switch it.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
So who'd you pick in the end?
It's Drew. I picked Drew McIntyre. It's on my paper. I don't change my picks. I got McIntyre. Yes.
Okay.
New bleep has come to life.
There you go. The prime time. Oh, I forgot. The roll-ups. Roll-ups. We are at the halfway point here. Last week's Jack Stars got one in that single 4-way that we didn't discuss during Gary's segment. Tony Storm pointed and laughed at Marina Shafir for Tony's second. Liv Morgan, as I just mentioned, she won, beating Alexa Bliss on Raw. Raw still has a 6 roll-up lead on AEW. NXT UK now up to 11. SmackDown, Xavier Woods has got to get himself into gear if he wants to, piggyback his team. We'll do the losses first. The Miz with 4, Butch 3, Tamina 3, Jordan Days 3. Then you have a train wreck with 2 losses. Here is the overall leaderboard. Xavier Woods, like I said, leading the way with 5 from SmackDown. Mysterio, Gable, Dana Brooke, Ezekiel, all on Raw. Trey Miguel with 3 from Impact. Since we are at the halfway point, I know who's winning on NXT UK, who's winning on AEW. Here are the halfway point by brand leaders. Like I said, there's a train wreck on Raw with 3. NXT, just nobody seems to want to take any initiative and get that second one to take a lead there. Britt Baker, CM Punk, Riho, Thunder Rosa, Tony Storm, Wheeler Yuta with 2 for AEW. And if we did this from the loss column, I know Wardlow's been rolled up twice. I think that's kind of shocking. It's kind of funny at the same time. Miko Satomura being the locker room leader she is. She's got 2 for the UK. Trey Miguel leads the way with Impact. Jonathan Gresham on that list. How about that for you? He had 2 roll-ups in his time there. Then Xavier Woods with a 3 roll-up lead on Angel Naomi and Ricochet on SmackDown. Primetime rundown, regular season programming has concluded, and we are in the middle of the second summer schedule, which is every Monday at 7 p.m. You can join Joey Jarzak, Ian Schreier, and Mike Zavo as they bring you the world of sports on Monday nights through the thick of the summer, right here on the Eastern Observer. And ladies and gentlemen, on Sunday night, not only did the Colorado Avalanche win the Stanley Cup, that wins me the bracket challenge standings for the Eastern Observer. John DeConnie, I have now joined you in the trophy room.
Nice.
Where's the primetime rundown gonna step up?
Fantasy football up next.
Yes. EWP, EWP, EWP. We have a new show on the Eastern Observer, one near and dear to my icy heart. The Sunday Sauce is every Sunday afternoon, hosted by our very own Sheriff Tyler Adele, along with new partner Andrew Bucaria, Drew Skadoodles, as they bring you everything NHL and all the league's happenings. Get saucy this Sunday afternoon with the Sunday Sauce right here on all Eastern Observer platforms. Black Cats NYC new album Free Cake. Anywhere that you can get new music, you can get the Black Cats NYC album Free Cake out loud. Play now. As always, the Eastern Central Wrestling Podcast is sponsored by Pro Wrestling Pick'em, the internet leader in sports entertainment pick'em pools. Join us in the Central Wrestling Podcast public pool. Play against us, create a private pool with just you and your friends. ProWrestlingPick'em.com. Play against your friends. play against the universe, and guys, she will like it too. Join us back next week for episode 108. We're on 108, right? 5 p.m. on all of these viewing options. And while you're here watching this, please make sure you like and subscribe to the Eastern Observer to make sure you get all the updates on all of our shows and news articles. Please make sure you like the video. It's all about the algorithm, boys. You gotta get that algorithm. And breaking news, I wanted to do this during Gary's segment just because of the picture and the 30th anniversary of the British Bulldog winning the Intercontinental Championship in Wembley Stadium. We will have on Saturday, July 30th at 2 p.m. the Essential Wrestling Podcast SummerSlam Special. We would love for us to be your afternoon pre-show for the hottest party of the summer. Brian Joy, anything before we get out of here?
No, let's get out of here.
All right, John Smith.
Will Ospreay is freaking awesome. It was my first time ever watching him, and I'm sold. And I think Vince can get his hands on him again.
John the County.
That's enough said for me.
All right, Alexa Bliss, we love you. Larry Steve, forever in our hearts. Again, please make sure you like and subscribe. Got to get that algorithm up. John the County, take us home.
Thanks for joining us. And as always, we wish you the best in all your future endeavors.
Oh, also, more importantly, for any information, please contact the Los Angeles Police Department.
And then Heisman